Welcome into the WAC Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Kendra Sheehan. Our very first guest on the WAC Basketball Podcast is the one and only Ethan Potter of Utah Tech men's basketball. He won the WAC Men's Basketball Player and Newcomer of the Week this week. And Ethan, it's interesting to see you in Utah Tech uniform as you transferred in from Utah Valley. So we'll start there with what it has been like to join this Trailblazers team, as I know it's a ton of new pieces coming together.
hmm Yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy to switch over. I mean, it's just a couple hours away, and you know, I mean, I was pretty used to having a whole new team basically every year already, where just every team it feels like there's transfers in and out, and so that part of it wasn't too hard. Play style's pretty similar, so it was overall a pretty seamless transition.
You know, it's a good point because we talk to a lot of coaches about what it's like to have to recruit pretty much a new team every single year. But for the players, it's also that same thing. And so how do you tackle that in terms of just knowing that, hey, it's almost like starting over. We got to build that chemistry. And how do you attack that as a player?
I mean, I think you just kind of have to expect it to think of it as the normal. I mean, I had two different coaches in my 3 years at UVU. This was my third coach here at Utah Tech, and I mean, I think just being able to make sure that players are together is the most important part, and it's something that I'm sure every team's still trying to figure out as we're this early on in the season and before we get into WAC play. But yeah.
Now, what brought you to St. George? I know it wasn't too far away. You didn't leave the state of Utah, but what made you want to put your name in the transfer portal and end up still in the same conference, just at a different school?
Yeah, I mean, at UVU we had some really good years. I felt like I could showcase kind of what I could do more here, and I mean, it is nice to come to the same conference still because I've played against all these teams for a few years and kind of know how that works, and I feel like that can kind of help our team prepare for that. And I love the coaching staff here at Utah Tech. They recruited me in high school, and so I had already built a relationship with them from previous years, and it just was the right fit for me.
What do you like about John Judkins? He's a unique coach. He's been there for quite some time. He has a history of winning. And what drew you to his coaching style that made you want to play under him?
I mean, a lot of it honestly was you can tell how much he cares about his players. He makes a real effort to kind of build a relationship with everybody, and I mean he's won at every level that he's coached, whether it was JUCO or D2 before here, and now D1 for the last however not too many years. But I mean he's had a proven record and definitely someone who I love playing for.
And since joining Utah Tech, I mean, you've had some incredible numbers so far. What has been key for you to jumping into this new team and having a lot of success?
Yeah, I think our team does a really good job of getting the ball to whoever's doing well that game. It's been me a couple games, it's been other people other games, so I think just whoever's doing a good job at scoring will just keep running plays and feeding the ball to whoever that is. Could be anyone on our team.
Now, when I talked to Coach Judkins this summer, we were talking about the non-conference slate and the opportunity to go to Hawaii. I mean, what better place to bond with a new group of guys than
Mhm.
in Hawaii on the beach playing some basketball? What was that experience like? I know it was a business trip, but how much extra time did you have to explore Hawaii?
Yeah, no, I mean we didn't have a ton of time, but we got to do some cool stuff. I mean we went to the beach together all as a team. We went to Pearl Harbor, which was a really cool experience to go as a whole team. And I mean they made sure to let us know that it was a business trip, but I mean they gave us a full day or so to just kind of relax and bond as a team.
And it's about a 6, 7 hour flight to Hawaii.
Yeah, about that on the way back we flew away right after our Hawaii game, and we didn't get back to Vegas until like 8 in the morning. So it was a long flight on the way back.
Now, had you ever traveled that far before, or was that kind of one of your first really, really long flights?
It was we had one. Had one to Italy before, but so that one was a little bit longer, but not too much.
So, what did you do to pass the time? That's always something, were you sitting next to your teammates and just, hey, I'm putting the headphones in, playing some games?
Yeah, a lot of headphones in. I mean, I've never been someone who's been able to fall asleep on planes, so I was mostly just on my phone listening to music or watching a TV show the whole time. So,
Well, during the Rainbow Classic, you guys had a huge double overtime win there against Mississippi Valley State. And I know a lot about the non-conference slate is figuring out just who you are as a team, your identity, and then also beginning to learn how to win games. And so that's a great example of you guys in double overtime finding a way. What did you learn about your team and the identity through such a game like that?
yeah, I mean, we should have put it away in the regular part of the game, and it we let a three happen to tied it up with about 2 seconds left. But I mean, and then we were down in overtime by three, and then Chance hit a really big three. So it just kind of shows that we're not a team that's going to quit, and it's a big part of our identity.
And so far, through about 11 games so far in the non-conference slate, where have you seen the most growth from the team as a whole, from that very first practice when you stepped on campus in St. George to now almost through that non-conference slate?
hmm I think the biggest growth that we've seen was just in uh, the willingness to share the ball. I think we all knew that we had a lot of talent and a lot of good individual players on our team. It's just taking time as it would with any team to be able to know to trust each other and just know that whatever happens, we're all trying to win and just trusting each other on that.
Now, no, I'm sure you've probably been to St. George, obviously having played at Utah Tech, but maybe not spending a ton of time there. The weather's a little bit different than
Yeah.
Orem. I think it's amazing how the weather's different in St. George than Cedar City.
Mhm.
But what has been your favorite part about the St. George community and maybe exploring Zion National Park if you had a minute?
Yeah, no, this is a place where it was a pretty big vacation spot from where I grew up. It's just about 4 hours away from where I grew up. So I was down here a lot during my childhood. But the thing I love the community here. I feel like it's a really tight-knit area that's growing a lot. But I think it does a good job where it's kind of secluded from not very many other big cities that people tend to come together in support for whether it be our team or different sports or just other events going on in the city.
A couple years ago, I came out to St. George and I covered the St. George Marathon, which is something that the men's basketball team always helps out with year
hmm
after year. What was it like this year? Just, your first look at diving into the community and giving back and really having the community also embrace you guys because they have a huge support in your men's basketball program there as well.
Yeah, no, it was really cool helping out with that. We were able to help out for a few hours during that this year, helping pass out water, and it was cool just seeing people run by during the marathon, recognizing us, and even when we were close to the end, and they were still making time to say hi to us while after they had ran like 22 miles, I think was where we were at. So.
Where do you think the ceiling for this team is just as you continue to watch the team develop and grow? You're coming into conference play, you'll play everybody three times this year. Where do you think this team can take it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have the potential to win a championship this year. I mean, there's less teams in our conference this year. We've been able to be competitive with some of the really good teams we've played already this year. I think we don't have the record that we want to right now, but we're hoping on playing our best basketball once we get to March. And I mean, just have to win 3 games in March in the tournament to call it a successful season.
What do you think it's going to be like when you face Utah Valley for the first time this season?
Oh, it'll be an interesting experience, especially playing there. I mean, I still talk to a lot of the guys, my former teammates that are there, and some of the coaches. I still have a I still have a good relationship with all of those coaches. So I mean, it won't be any like any beef or anything like that, but it'll definitely be a weird experience being and playing against those guys that I practice against for so long.
Now, a lot of people at Utah Valley are very familiar with you, but for those who are St. George fans, Utah Tech fans, what is one thing that you want them to know about you and the way that you're going to attack this season and represent the university?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just that I know how to win. I think we all I think that's kind of expected out of everyone, but I just want people to know that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win, especially preparing myself and preparing other people once it gets to the end of the season and for March.
Now, do you have a specific pre-game ritual that you go through? Are you superstitious in any way that you have to do things a certain way before you lace up the shoes and take the court?
There's really not too much for me, honestly. I'm more of just I don't really think of any superstitious kind of things and just kind of follow what the coaches want us to do for warm-ups and other than listening to music, there's really not too much else other than that.
If you're not playing basketball and you're not studying, what is one thing that you do to take your mind off of all the craziness of the season?
Ooh, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is just watching. I watch a lot of college football. So if we don't have anything on Saturdays, I'll be sitting on the couch watching college football for basically the whole day.
Love that, love that. And I know with your family being not too far away, are they going to be regular fixtures in the stands? Have they already come out to a few games and seen you in the Trailblazer uniform?
Yeah, they've came out to a few games at home. My parents were actually able to come to our Hawaii trip as well. So they were there for those three games when we were there, and yeah, they'll definitely be able to come to a handful of our home games as well,
Now,
especially at UVU as well.
definitely be at the UVU one.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, a trip to Hawaii for them to watch some basketball, did they extend it a little bit to spend some more time on the island?
They were there definitely a couple days after. So I mean they wanted to tell me that it was because of me that they were there, but I knew why they were really there.
Well, Ethan, it's been great catching up with you. You guys are off to a great start. You're off to a great start at Utah Tech. You guys will have the opportunity to host Justice University this Saturday. It's at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on ESPN Plus. Best of luck, and we'll catch you in Vegas.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you so much.